Toni Braxton, the burden of success and the high cost of family loyalty. Toni Braxton, a name synonymous with soulful R&B ballads and unmatched vocal prowess, has long been recognized as the most successful member of the Braxton family. With over 70 million records sold worldwide and 7 Grammy Awards to her name, Toni's rise to fame was meteoric. However, behind the glitz and glamour lies a harrowing story of responsibility, family obligation, betrayal, and personal sacrifice. While the world saw a superstar, Toni was often playing the role of a surrogate parent, financial provider, and emotional pillar for her entire family. The weight of responsibility. From a young age, Toni took on responsibilities far beyond her years. At around 13 or 14, her mother suffered a severe accident that left her bedridden, and Toni stepped up to care for her younger siblings. With a father who was busy trying to provide financially for 6 children, Toni naturally fell into the role of a second parent. This early experience shaped her mindset and instilled in her a deep sense of duty and loyalty to her family. When her music career began to soar, that same loyalty manifested in an overwhelming burden. As the breakout star from the Braxton family, Toni found herself responsible for the financial well-being of not just herself but also her mother and siblings. Her sister Traci once told her, "Toni, you know when you make it, you can help us. Come on." Toni internalized those words and made it her mission to lift her family with her success. But over time, that noble intent began to feel more like a shackle than a support system. The solo star among the Braxtons, Toni's career launched in the early 1990s after she signed with LaFace Records. Her debut solo album, Toni Braxton, 1993, was a massive success, going platinum 10 times over. Hit singles like Another Sad Love Song and Breathe Again made her a household name. Her sophomore album, Secrets, 1996, was even bigger, featuring the iconic track Unbreak My Heart, which sold over 10 million copies worldwide. Despite these successes, the money did not flow to Toni in proportion to her achievements. She revealed that she received less than 35 cents per album sold and was responsible for repaying her label for production costs, promotional events, wardrobe, and more. This deeply flawed financial arrangement led to her first bankruptcy filing in 1998, a shocking revelation considering she had generated over $170 million for her label at that time. Supporting her family. Even as she struggled financially, Toni remained the family's backbone. She covered medical bills, living expenses, and other costs for her mother and siblings. What stung the most was that, according to Toni, none of her siblings, except Tamar, stepped up to help with their mother's needs. Tamar, who was still building her own career at the time, contributed to bills and never charged Toni for performing or helping with shows. In contrast, sisters Traci and Towanda allegedly demanded to be paid for their contributions to Toni's performances, despite benefiting from the exposure and the family brand Toni had built. Traci, who had her own children to support, charged for her time as a backup singer. Towanda worked as an executive assistant and expected a salary. This imbalance caused major rifts within the family, especially when Toni began voicing her frustrations publicly. Financial struggles. Despite stardom, Toni's financial woes were not just the result of supporting her family. She also fell victim to the exploitative practices of the music industry. Her contracts were notoriously unfair, and despite massive commercial success, she earned very little. She later sued her record label, and mere weeks after filing that lawsuit, she had to declare bankruptcy. Her second bankruptcy filing in 2010 came under different but equally tragic circumstances. Toni was diagnosed with microvascular angina and lupus, both serious health issues that forced her to cancel a lucrative Las Vegas residency. Because insurance wouldn't cover the cancellation, she was left with enormous financial liabilities. Many fans were shocked by these revelations. How could someone who sold millions of albums be facing such dire straits? The answer lies in the combination of systemic industry exploitation, personal health crises, and the relentless burden of supporting a large, often ungrateful family. A painful public shaming. Toni's financial struggles became national news, and she hoped to tell her side of the story through an interview with Oprah Winfrey. However, the appearance ended up being one of the most painful public moments in Toni's career. Oprah questioned her spending habits and even mocked her for reportedly owning Gucci flatware, saying, "I'm Oprah Winfrey, and I don't have Gucci flatware." Toni later expressed how hurt and humiliated she felt by the interview, stating that she admired Oprah and had not expected. To be judged so harshly. The segment not only damaged Toni's public image but also made people less sympathetic to her plight, perpetuating the idea that she was financially irresponsible rather than a victim of circumstances. The family divide. Over the years, tensions between the Braxton sisters continued to simmer. When the family's reality show Braxton Family Values returned, drama quickly overshadowed any sense of unity. Disputes over salaries, screen time, and family responsibilities reignited old wounds. Toni reportedly walked off set after a heated argument and declared she was done. Tamar, in particular, has had a roller coaster relationship with the rest of the family. She has accused them of being toxic and emotionally draining, even saying in one deleted social media post, "My family is awful. I should have never gone back to BFV." Her mental health struggles, including a breakdown and time in treatment, have further complicated her relationships. At one point, Toni discovered that Tamar had blocked her on social media, something she only found out when trying to tag her sister on her birthday. While Tamar claimed that Toni could have simply called her, it was another stark example of how fractured their relationships had become. Towanda has also had her share of conflict with Tamar. The sisters rarely communicate outside of filming, and while Towanda recently got married, Tamar was noticeably absent from the ceremony. Tawanda's cryptic posts about distancing herself from toxic people only fueled speculation about ongoing feuds within the family. The emotional and physical toll. All this emotional turmoil has taken a toll on Toni. Living with lupus, a chronic autoimmune disease, is already a major challenge. Add on family stress, financial pressure, and public scrutiny, and it's no wonder she has reached a breaking point. There's a legitimate argument to be made that the unrelenting pressure from her family contributed not only to her financial problems, but also to the deterioration of her health. Toni has made it clear that, while she loves her family, she is emotionally exhausted. She has hinted multiple times that she wishes she could have soared higher had she not been burdened with so much responsibility from such a young age. It's a tragic realization that one of the greatest R&B artists of our time may have been held back, not by a lack of talent, but by the very people she tried to uplift. Conclusion: a complex legacy. Toni Braxton's story is a cautionary tale about the cost of success and the complexities of family loyalty. It raises uncomfortable questions about the responsibilities of successful family members and the expectations placed upon them. While Toni tried to lift everyone as she climbed, it seems that few were willing to return the favor or even lighten the load. Despite everything, Toni Braxton remains a legend. Her contributions to music are undeniable, and her resilience is inspiring. But her journey also serves as a stark reminder that fame does not equate to freedom, and that sometimes the greatest struggles come not from the outside world, but from within the family circle. As fans, we can only hope that Toni continues to find peace, prioritize her health, and finally put herself first. She's more than earned that right.